Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a beginner's tutorial on the Alchemical Hydra. The Alchemical Hydra requires 95 Slayer to kill, and it is located in the Mount Karum Slayer dungeon. Let's talk about gear. This is the setup I'm going to be bringing for this tutorial. I am using pretty close to the max gear with a twisted bow, full crystal armor. You may notice some quirks here. I've got devout boots and a ring of suffering. The Hydra actually has very low defense, so we don't need to focus on ranged accuracy as much, and prayer is very helpful for prolonging trips. So you want to get a balance of enough range attack bonus, enough range strength, and also maximizing your prayer bonus. Now with the devout boots, because I have the Kebos Elite Diary, I do not need to wear brimstone boots or boots of stone to enter the Hydra lair. However, if you don't have this diary done, you will need brimstone boots or boots of stone to not take damage from the floor. For your first kills while you're learning, I recommend taking a lot more food than once you are perfect at Hydra. If you are perfect, you can take basically no damage after the first hit, and you can heal those first hits using your blowpipe specs. However, while you're learning, you're definitely going to take some damage, so I'd recommend bringing one Bastion potion or range potion. Bastion potions are very expensive. An antidote. I am bringing 8 super restores, a rune pouch with Alks. My method of getting here, this could be a Xanaris staff if you don't have the Blessing teleport, and then a teleport to house to restart my trips. Up on the screen in front of you is the wiki page. This has a recommended gear progression list as well, and that is linked down in the bio. Feel free to use this to pick the best gear setup for you. The Dragon Hunter crossbow is excellent at Hydra, and if you don't have access to either the DH crossbow or the twisted bow, I would recommend just using a blowpipe. Now, the easiest way to get there is using a Radha's Blessing Mount Karum teleport. You unlock that with Radha's Blessing 4, which you get from completing the Core End and Kebos Elite Diary. Now that's going to take you straight to the top of the mountain. However, if you don't have this teleport, the fastest way to get there is using a fairy ring. The code for that fairy ring is CIR. That's going to take you right to the bottom of the mountain. If you run over here, there is an agility shortcut that's going to take you up. Requirement for this shortcut is 29 agility for the bottom and 62 agility for the mid tier. Otherwise, you're going to have to run all the way up. If for some reason you have 95 Slayer but don't have fairy rings unlocked, you can either use a Battlefront teleport and run up the same way as before, or a skills necklace to the farming guild. Once we're up here, we're going to go down into the elevator. Once we are down the elevator, we are going to run straight past the agility shortcut. Even if you have the agility shortcut unlocked, fun fact, it is actually slower than just running. Take a little bit of damage from the Hydras, and we're going to run over and climb over the rocks. The quick prayers that I like to use are Magic and Eagle Eye. Now, when we were talking about the gear, we said range accuracy isn't too important because the Hydra has fairly low defense, so we are going to be using Eagle Eye just to keep our prayer up and save as much as possible. Now, I'm going to zoom in here. These are the tiles that I have marked. Feel free to pause and set these up before you enter. I also, if you have RuneLight, you can shift-click tag the Alchemical Hydra, and that's going to show you its hitbox. Now, having the hitbox available is very useful for this boss in particular because we have to get the boss on top of these chemical vents. To start off the kill, we're going to turn on our prayer, drink a sip of our potion, and run in. Now, to start off the kill, we're going to run all the way over to the east side of the room, and this is going to be our starting tile. The reason this is our starting tile is because it'll always guarantee to drag the Hydra onto the red vent. Now, I'm going to explain all of this again on our second kill, but basically while the Hydra is green, we want to get him onto the red vent. After he turns blue, we go to the green vent. After he turns red, we go to the blue vent. Before we get into any of that, though, it's important to talk about the Hydra's attacks. The Hydra switches attacks every time it raises its head, like it just did there. I said that if you're perfect, you won't take damage after the first hit. The first hit is always going to be random, then he's going to attack with the same attack for 3 hits. After the third hit, you'll see that head raise animation, and you can switch to the other prayer. The mage attack looks like this. It's basically a magic splatter. The ranged attack looks like spiky little pyramids. It's kind of like an arrow versus a magic attack. So I've been jumping around a little bit to show you those attacks. Let's go back to the initial green phase and start to talk about special attacks. So in the green phase, on the fourth attack, which is going to be the first time he raises his head, the Hydra is going to throw out a poison splatter. So basically, during this first green phase, when he lifts his head for the first time, you're just going to have to run a few tiles to avoid the poison. If you accidentally step on any of the poison or you get unlucky and an additional splatter goes to wherever you click, you're going to take a sip of your anti-poison, and that's why we bring it. After the Hydra gets to about a third of its HP, it is going to transition to the blue phase. Now, when it hits the blue phase, we are going to run to our next tile, and this tile has two purposes. It guarantees that the blue phase is going to step onto the right vent, and it also is going to set us up for lightning skip. Now, the lightning skip is the blue phase's special attack. Basically, the Hydra shoots out a bunch of lightning bolts, and you run away and they chase you down. Now, when we start on this marked tile and run over, we are going to set up for the red phase while also guaranteeing that the lightning never hits us. Now, after the lightning phase, once we get the Hydra down to half health, it will switch to red phase. Run over to our final marked tile here, and that will drag him onto the blue vent. Now we're going to run up close to prepare for fire skip. The special attack of the red phase is basically he's going to corner you and lock you in an area with fire, as he's doing right now. I'm going to loop the footage a couple times here while I explain this. So once the Hydra starts walking away toward the middle of the map, that's when you're going to want to run to this tile here. After you hit the corner, you can keep attacking, and he's going to spray these flame walls out. Now, right here, when he turns to face you, you have several ticks to click to this corner. Once you get to this corner, you're going to be safe, and the fire is going to get kind of trapped against itself. If you don't do this, you're going to have to run around the room while the fire chases you, sort of like the Vorkath acid phase. I recommend turning on walk. If the fire hits you, you're going to continuously take damage for 5 HP over several seconds. So if you ever miss getting on the tile, you can spam click it and still have time to do the flame skip. After you successfully get the fire skip or walk around a little bit and kite the fire, you'll continue to DPS until you get down to the final third of HP when the Hydra is going to switch to the black or gray phase. Now, the way that this phase works is as soon as he switches, you're going to have to switch prayers. He's going to do whatever the opposite of what he's currently doing. After this, it's kind of like a Jad phase on Zulrah, where he's going to switch attack styles every hit. Similar to the first phase, on the fourth hit, he's going to launch an acid pool. That's basically the only other special attack here. After that fourth hit, where it's guaranteed, it may randomly show up in the future, but you're probably going to kill the Hydra before it happens again. So basically, you just alternate prayers every hit, watch out for that fourth hit, which is an acid pool, and continue until the Hydra is dead. Now that we know all the special attacks, what the attacks look like, how to switch prayers, let's go through one other full kill where I'll commentate the entire kill. We are going to start off on our starting tile over here to pull the green phase onto the red vent and start attacking. The first attack is magic, so we take a little bit of damage, unlucky. After we drag him to the vent, we can start moving toward our blue phase tile. The attack switches, so this is going to be the acid attack because it's the first head raise. So we're going to run away from that. Very quickly, I don't think I ever explained why we pull them onto the vent. The vent lowers the defense significantly, so that's why the defense is so low, because we dragged them onto the vent, and that basically makes the Hydra much weaker. After the head falls off, we switch to blue phase, and we continue our counterclockwise rotation around to the green pool. On a third attack, we switch again, this time to range, keep attacking, and get ready to click our lightning skip tile. So the lightning orbs are starting to come out. Once the last one falls, we're going to click onto our safe spot. Switch attacks while we're moving. Continue DPSing. And now we're on to red phase. So we're going to run to drag the Hydra onto the blue vent. Switch attacks again. And move up close to prepare for fire skip. Now, in this particular kill, I actually don't click in time. The fire actually pushes me into the correct tile, so we still get to skip, although we take a whole bunch of damage because we didn't click fast enough. Continue to DPS, eat some food and some potions. Switch prayers when the head raises, and he's going to switch to the gray phase. The timing here is a little bit awkward. I switched to range because I think, oh, the head raised, the attack switched. Turns out he started on magic, so I get a little bit off here, but you just look at the animations and then switch to the right thing. Because of that confusion, I also missed the acid attack on attack number 4, but after a quick movement over, we get off of that acid and keep attacking, and the Hydra dies pretty quickly. You might notice the face cam on in these clips. This is footage from my stream. Go check that out on Twitch. Link in the description. I hope this was helpful for you, just getting a quick beginner's introduction to killing the Hydra with ranged. The Hydra is one of the best moneymakers per hour for solo PVM in the game. I hope you enjoy the boss, although it is a little bit grindy, and these tasks do take forever, but you're going to make a ton of money along the way. Thanks for watching. Leave any questions down below, and be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for